So our third patient today, Jerry, again, he had very good skin straight throughout. He had great skin in the shaft. He had the foreskin remnant, which is the skin just under the glands, was excellent, excellent. The reason why I mention that is because the skin here is different than the skin here. This skin is a little thinner, a little more fragile. It doesn't hold filler very well. And sometimes there's a little imbalance here sometimes. So we have to be careful with this area. But here, the skin is generally pretty good. But today with Jerry, I mean, his skin was all the way good right up to the glands. In fact, the glands skin was good too. It filled incredibly, you know. Even though the glands results are not as good as a shaft, they're reasonable. But he would get the best results from the glands because of his skin quality. So that's a genetic thing, right? If you come in with your genetics, right, we got to work with it. Provide as much filler as possible. But usually, worst case scenario, even with poor genetics, let's say the skin quality is not good, the dermis is thin, fragile, it doesn't handle filler very well. Worst case is you have to do an extra treatment or two, and so forth. So it's not a terrible thing. It just takes a little more work and effort and so forth. So Jerry did well. Now our next patient, Daniel, is coming in for a second shaft and glands, and we're going to discuss that a little later. All right, we're going to go say hello to Daniel. Daniel, how we doing here?
Hey, Dr. Loria.
Good to see you. You've been running around the world, my friend.
Oh my God.
So if I pull you, yeah, I see that already.
Yeah.
And this half is a little thinner, so we'll thicken here. We'll make everything thicker.
Okay.
But a little bit more here to balance. But otherwise, if this was more balanced, would be good?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, this area here dips inside. So this is like this.
Yeah, okay, got you. All right, I can do that. Well, I'm going to fill everything, but extra there. Okay? Now, another thing that's important for you, you see your retraction, how strong it is? The glands, tucks, tails, and runs, goes under?
Yes.
You're a perfect candidate for this insert tube I'm developing.
Okay.
So what we do is sneak it under. Right, by the circumcision line, we make a little incision, slide it under, a couple stitches, you're done.
Okay.
It keeps everything hanging long.
I would love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what's coming. You'll get an email from me soon.
Yeah.
Okay? And we're going to start that probably in the summer. Close.
I feel like the guy that circumcised me took way too much skin.
Well, you feel you're shorter? Okay. If that's the case, after we're done, after this heals, use the penis pump to stretch the skin a little bit, because it doesn't just stretch it this way, it'll stretch it this way.
Okay.
So if you lost a little bit, you might recapture that.
Okay.
Okay? So, okay, we had our patient today, the final patient, Daniel. He had a prior free fat transfer. It was done about, I guess, 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. He had his first treatment done a year ago from us. Actually, it was, no, 2 years. So his first treatment was 2 years. Now, why did he come to see us? He had a free fat transfer. He was enlarged. The issue with it was he was too soft, all right, and there was imbalances. So when fat transfer occurs, let's say you do liposuction in the belly, you take the fat and you put it into the penile area, it's hard to distribute it evenly. Plus the survival rates vary. So you might, all the fat might die, some might die, you might wind up with a lump here or whatever, irregularities. Now, what we did was, when we saw him, he did have irregularities. He was larger, but it wasn't balanced. So we were able to balance him with the filler. So what do? We balanced him, we enlarged him, and we increased the firmness of the erection. So here he is today for another treatment. So our objective, again, is to enlarge, right? And by adding more collagen, well, filler stimulates your body to make the collagen. So with more collagen production, we get more firmness. So he'll get larger. He's at 6 3/4 girth. He'll probably go to 7 and maybe even close to 7.5. I'm thinking, because we were able to get a lot of filler in him today. So he goes to 7.5. It's probably optimal for he and his wife. So he'll get that added firmness. He's also interested in lengthening. So we're going to be implementing that for him soon. So it was a good case today. It turned out very, very well. So we'll just have to wait for him to heal up, 30 days and so forth. So we'll keep an eye on him. Valentina, did you find them? The flights?
Yeah.
You printed them out?
This is what you want, right?
Let me see. All right, we got Newark, good.
That's a return.
MH8. You have Michelle's too?
Yeah, so I'll do it.
Yeah, print that one. Yeah, put these together. And that'd be great. I think that's all I need, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Now I'm going to test you here.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
But you're going to need to pump.
Pump?
For example, your skin's starting to get tight on me. In other words, I'm putting filler in. We got a good amount in today. But the next time you come, I might not be able to put the same amount or more because your skin is not expanding for me.
Maybe like gotta wait a little time?
No. Whenever you want to do your next treatment, 60 days prior, you're going to use a pump, penis pump, you know, and you're going to put it down on the area. And we're going to give you a protocol. So what's going to happen is the negative pressure causes water to come into the penis and stretch it. In fact, it's going to get much larger after you leave it in there for 45 minutes. But the idea is to stretch it out, not make it loose. It's not going to happen. But if it could stretch the dermis for us, if we're going to do another treatment, I'm going to get a lot of filler in next time.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
And I'll make a note of that.
I've never looked at those.
Motto's going to make a note of this, that will tell you where to get the pump. It's lapumps.com. Where to get the pumps, and we'll give you a protocol.
If I'm going to be out on the prowl, I'm probably going to want to do it sooner than later.
Okay. So maybe by day 40 you could start pumping.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
Something like that. Give yourself, you could, while you're pumping, of course, you could have intercourse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this therapy of pumping is going to stretch that skin in the meanwhile. Plus,
You did the tip of the penis too, right?
yes, yeah. Plus, you might want to consider this just to gauge the size you really want. Let's say after this treatment, let's say you're 6 1/4, let's just say. And let's say you use the pump, right, to stretch your skin, and you pump up to 7 1/2. You might want to try to have intercourse with the 7 1/2 to see how it feels
It'll stay there like that?
for a little while. You know, you got about an hour.
You gotta put like a rubber band or something on it?
It'll help. Put a little rubber band at the base, you know.
Stays like that for about an hour?
Hour, maybe 2. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So that you could kind of gauge the exact
You
size
sell
you might
those
want.
then, or no?
Sell what?
Penis pumps?
That's lapumps.com,
LApumps.com?
Yeah.
Not on Amazon?
most likely.
It is on Amazon, you said, or no?
Most likely. Or you just go to their site, you know. So you're going to do that to figure out the size you really want.
LA Pumps?
lapumps.com, yeah. And then you prepare yourself. Okay? So we're going to clean you. Obviously, we're cleaning you now. And we're going to put a wrap on you. You're going to videotape that wrap. Okay? And then we're going to go through all your medications. Okay? So, any questions for me? You all good for now?
I'm good.
All right. Well, you're looking good there, my friend. All right, John, listen. It was a pleasure. I wish you well there.
Just do this LA Pumps that way.
Yeah, I got you.
Otherwise, I'll never remember the name. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you, okay?
So we have
I wish
good
you well.
results.
Hopefully.
Is that pretty much what it'll look
No.
like?
Everyone says the same thing. Is it going to look like that? Well, let's see. Your ultimate size. Because you're swollen now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's going to come down. But that's flaccid. I'll keep that in mind too,
Oh, yeah.
okay? It's not erect. All right? So be patient with that. You know the routine. And you do some good wraps for me. Don't forget, you got to stay in touch with us.
Yeah,
Pictures
yeah,
and all
the
that.
People texted me already.
Good. Okay. And have a safe trip home.
Okay. thanks.
Stay in touch, okay?
All right.
All right.
I'll talk to the girls maybe about scheduling something then.
Yes, you can. That's not a problem. All right, John, you go. All right. John is done. He did very well, actually. Got more filler than expected, but his skin started getting tight. So when he does another treatment, he has to prep for this. He has to use a penis pump to stretch that skin. And then he stretches that skin, we can get the same or more filler on the next treatment. Otherwise, we may get less. So that's going to work for him. So hopefully this will help his relationship with his wife as well. There might be something going on there. But I guess we're going to find out. So that's hopefully he'll be back on his third round. I have a feeling he will. So that's that story.